Hi everybody, this is Mark Sellers, and this is a video tip exclusively for my clients who are on their blind spots journey. In a previous video tip, I talked about how your number goes to another number in stress. Today I want to talk about how your number goes to another enneagram number in growth. As the enneagram has taught us, every number goes to a number in stress and a different number in growth. So let's describe what that means to go to your number in growth, and let's figure out how you can apply that today, this week, in the interactions that you have with your customers, with your direct reports, and anybody else in your company that you have meetings with and interactions with. So I'm going to use the number 8 just as an example, and of course your growth number is a different number if you're not an 8. So you're going to have to go back to your Enneagram assessment and apply what I'm suggesting here to your specific number. But let's just use the 8s as an example. So as you probably remember, 8s are the number on the Enneagram that is a bold person. They're aggressive. They might be quite physical, in their body style and language. They are confrontational. They are direct. They will tell you how it is. They will be straightforward. My father, I believe, is an 8. And it's funny, he told me the other day, talking about his career with his people at Whirlpool, a great 37-year career, he said to me, nobody ever had to guess where I stood on anything. And I said, that sounds like something an 8 would say. So the 8 goes to growth, an 8 goes to growth in the number 2. So the 2 is the giver or the helper. And this is somebody that puts everybody else in front of them, carries the burden of how everybody else is doing, wanting to make sure that everybody else is okay. The 8, to be a better version of himself, needs to be more like that too. Thinking of other people, caring more, yes, for other people, and going out of their way to have in their mind thinking of others before they're thinking of themselves. So for example, the 8 who would not hesitate to say whatever's on their mind, nobody ever had any questions about where I stood, my dad said. The 8 to grow would actually dial that back a little bit and say, that feels right for me, but that's because I'm an 8. But it doesn't come across and feel right to other people who are not 8s. They don't appreciate necessarily the straightforwardness, the directness that comes so naturally to an 8. So an 8 grows by recognizing that and altering their behavior as a result. So if you think about it, let's say you're in a meeting, or an 8, not you, but an 8 is in a meeting. How would this work? So I would suggest to the 8s that they would actually write something down on a 3x5 index card as a reminder, or somewhere on their notepad where they're going to be taking notes. And they would write some things down like, ask questions first, don't just react. Because 8s are very good and very quick at reacting. They're not as good at asking questions and listening. So if they do that, then they're going to be a little more 2-like. Let's say, take another number. Let's say that you are a 6 and you go to 9 in growth. So what you would want to do is maybe write down some things that are unique to 9s that you would like to behave more like in the meetings. The 9s tend to be the peacemakers, the mediators, the people that don't take sides. They have a great ability to look at both sides of arguments and things before they make a point. What a great trait to have. So that 9-ness is in the 6, if you happen to be a 6, but still you've got to remind yourself and be intentional about getting that out so that you can be more like the 9 and grow, as it is differently with every number. So go back and look at your number. Look at the number. Hey, Louie. Hey, knock it off. Sorry, that was Louie. Go back and look at your number and find out the number you go to in growth. And then take some time to read up on that particular number and how they behave. And then use that to help you prepare for meetings, help you behave in certain ways in meetings. And if you're doing that, you will be tapping into the growth part of you and becoming a better version of whatever number you are. It'll be a beautiful thing. I hope you found this to be helpful. And as always, be well and be safe.